Hello, it is Tuesday. I'm settled into my new home. It is finally time for me to go back to a routine and my normal, which is Truth Bomb Tuesday. And I wanted to share something that I don't know why I haven't done, but if you know anything about me, I love plant juice, I love essential oils, and tonight's topic is gonna be the basics of essential oils. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what they are, how you use them, and the why some brands are better than others. I'm not going to talk about any brands. I'm not going to talk about anything. I'm going to give you the information and you can look it up. But there's a reason I use what I use. Okay? Essential oils are the life force of a plant. Kind of like we have blood. It's our blood that flows through our body. Plants also have veins, and it runs this life force, this plant juice through them. It keeps the plant alive. So without the plant juice, plants would die. Without our blood, we'd die. It's kind of important. And the plants in history, throughout history, I'm going to talk about that, they heal us. They are used for our body, for our health, for everything. So that being said, there are 3 ways to use essential oils: topical, aromatic, and internal. Topical means on you, aromatic is diffusing it, and internal is dietary usage, using it inside for certain reasons. How they work? Well, kind of like the blood, they oxygenate you and regulate and heal your bodies. That's what your blood does. It's the same as plants. It supports and regulates your body systems. Who can use these? Everybody. Even your animals, farm animals. I know so many people that have veterinarians use their oils on their animals. There's so many holistic vets. There's becoming more and more holistic doctors that use them. There's hospitals that use them now. But I promise you they're not using the stuff from Walgreens. Why you use them? Well, it helps raise your wellness and support your body's health and wellness. They're really good for you in so many different ways. When to use them? Every day. And I'm going to compare this to like when you want to change your diet and you want to lose 50 pounds, you don't change your diet one day and then go back and expect everything to be all better. No, you actually change your diet and you continue it until you get your desired results. And if you go back to your old way, you're going to gain your weight back, correct? So it's more of a lifestyle. It's not a once and done fix, okay? That's one thing that is a lot of people have a misunderstanding about. It's a lifestyle. It's not use it one time and be done. What are they? Well, they're technically the oleo resin gum. Oleo being the fat soluble and the volatile part of the plant. The volatile means it readily leaps into the air. Like that's what you smell is the oleo part. Resin is the alcohol soluble part, and the gum is the water soluble part of these oils. Now, by the way, this is just a little side note. Essential oils are not oily. If they feel oily, got something not so good in there. They are not oily. You should be able to put it on your skin and within seconds they disappear. They're gone. So if you have a feeling that you don't like oils because you don't like lotions and oils and creams, guess what? They're not oily. Ha! So composition. They are made of 3 different types of chemical constituents, I guess you could say. Phenols, monoterpenes, and sesquiterpenes. We're not going to go into all that because there's so much to talk about, but there's so much about essential oils, and I just wanted to break the surface and give you the basics today. There's different ways to distill oils, and I'm going to go into that later, but there's different kinds of essential oils based on distillation. So there's different what's the word? A, B, and C grade, I guess you could say. You only want to use the best because if you're using it on your body and in your body, you don't want the fragrance kind that it might have some oil and some not. So anyway, essential oils in history. These are not newfangled, people. These have been around since they have records of essential oils being used back to 5000 BC. In 3200 BC, they had used, the Egyptians used frankincense and myrrh for embalming people. 300 BC, they found the first distillation still, and that was in Indus Valley civilization. In 1300 BC, King Tut, his tomb contained vats, big ones, of frankincense essential oils. 400 BC, Hippocrates used essential oils for his treatments, and Hippocrates is known for all the natural ways of healing now. Throwing that out there, the man knew what he was talking about. 400 BC, that's a long time ago. 100 BC, reports of Rome consuming 2,500 tons of frankincense and 500 tons of myrrh annually. That's a long time ago. That's 2,100 years ago, still using oils. 1600 BC to 85 AD, this is when the Bible was written. And again, this is historically documented stuff, not just in the Bible. So whatever you believe, you can go back in history and find the same information that's in the Bible. It's all historically relevant. It's in the Old and New Testament, hundreds, not 5, not 10, hundreds of references to using essential oils in the Bible. In 1400 AD, there was a black plague going around. I'm sure you heard of it, the plague. And there was these band of thieves going around, and they were robbing people's bodies, and they were covering themselves in rosemary, cinnamon, clove, lemon, and eucalyptus. That's a blend that we have as thieves. And it's named thieves for good reason, because they got out of doing time for stealing stuff if they gave up their recipe to not get sick, because they weren't getting the plague and they were stealing from all these bodies. It's pretty amazing. In 1910, Rene Gattefossé, Gattefossé, a French chemist, he burned his hand and his arm pretty badly, and he mistook lavender oil for water because it's clear. And he put his arm down into the vat of lavender oil instead of water. And he was amazed to find out that not only did he heal faster than he would have with water, but he healed with no scarring. And he later, 10 years later, was the person that coined the phrase aromatherapy, because he started looking into the benefits. 1964, Dr. Jean Balnay, practice of aromatherapy, wrote a book about the practice of aromatherapy, and did long-term psych patients, treated them with essential oils, and had great results. In 1974, R. Deininger did a double-blind study on essential oils and the autonomic nervous system, and it proved effectiveness on balancing the nervous system. Those are just a few of historical events using essential oils in balancing or in bringing health to our bodies. Our body has over 100 trillion cells. That's just crazy if you think about it, because that's a lot, 100 trillion. And essential oils have 40 million trillion, that's a lot of zeros, people, molecules per drop. That's amazing. The thing that's so amazing, and how do you get so many molecules in one drop of oil? Well, their AMU, their atomic mass unit, or I'm not science, their Dalton weight is so tiny. It's less than 300 Daltons. And they are so small that they can pass through all cells in our body. They can even pass through the blood-brain barrier. And if you know anything, pharmaceuticals cannot pass through cell walls. They cannot pass through the blood-brain barrier. Nothing is small enough to get through there. Well, oils do. That is really cool, because oils, when you apply them, ingest them, or breathe them, they are in every cell in your body within 20 minutes. Pretty potent stuff. It just blows my mind. Can you be allergic to essential oils? No. You can have a psychosomatic placebo effect allergy, because our mind is so powerful. That is yet another Truth Bomb Tuesday. But an allergen is formed from proteins and polypeptide nitrogenous molecules. Say that fast 3 times. And those are 100 to 1,000 times larger than essential oil molecules in size and weight. So essential oil molecules are too small to cause an allergy, and there is never been any documented cases of an antibody response to essential oils. However, again, I talked about the placebo effect. If you think you're allergic to something, like people say, I can't be around lavender, gives you a headache. Well, probably fake lavender gives you a headache. A lot of chemicals give me a headache. I can't even walk through the fragrance aisle or the laundry aisle anymore. But a lot of people have that response because they think they are, so their body creates a response. And there's lots of studies on placebos. You should look that up. It's really intriguing to research the power of our mind and placebo tests, because people have been healed by thinking they've been healed with a placebo and they didn't even get the drugs. Anyway, another story. However, there are a few different hot oils, and I've experienced this with one of them. There's like 3 or 4 that I can name off the top of my head: oregano, cinnamon, and thyme. They're called hot oils because they can cause a skin sensitivity, but it is not an allergy. There's a difference. Something can make your skin angry without being an allergy. And a lot of times it's the hot oil. And I've tried cinnamon on my hand once when I was trying out oils for the beginning, and I didn't know any different, and I was putting oils on all the time, and cinnamon actually made me really red one time. And then the next time I used it, because you can put oil on it, like a carrier oil or coconut oil on after, and it completely would go away. The redness dissolved and went away, showing again that it's not an allergy, it's just a reaction to the hot oil. So just something to know. So that's enough about that. Okay, essential oils and everything else on this planet are creative frequency, vibration, and they're made with EMF. Everything is energy. Everything on this planet, this book, these glasses, you, me, my hair, the lamp over there, everything is energy. Everything has frequency and everything is vibrating. Everything. Essential oils are no different. They each have their own specific vibration. Some are more healing than others, some are higher than others. Rose and Idaho blue spruce are the highest resonating, the highest vibrating frequencies. Our bodies, let me find, there's a list in here. Hold on a second, because I kept my book out because there's a couple things I wanted to pull out. Yes, frequencies. Like the lowest one is like 52, and that's basal. But the human body, we have frequencies as well, and process of death begins at 25 megahertz. You're susceptible to cancer at 42 megahertz. You're susceptible to Epstein-Barr at 52, susceptible to Candida at 55, susceptible to disease at 58, susceptible to colds and flu at 57 to 60. And it goes up and it talks about all the different things. But the human body is normally at 62 to 78 megahertz. And they've also done studies on the, coffee lowers your vibration. Stress, anger, frustration lowers your vibration. Happiness raises your vibration. All these things are scientific. You should look it up, Google, learn something today. I'm telling you, this stuff is mind-blowing. But anyway, that being said, oils have frequency, and they help lower or increase your frequency. They're amazing. Now we're going to go into the different ways they can be extracted. They can be extracted using so many different ways. Extracted steam distillation. They can use chemical solvents, cold press, or carbon dioxide. The best way to do it is steam, good old H2O. And you want to do it for the best results, a low temperature, low pressure, and every single plant is different. Okay, this is what makes, again, the company that I use so much better and different than a lot of companies, because a lot of companies use solvents. They use other methods other than steam, and they do the high pressure, high heat for a long time because you get a lot more oil than we would get using low pressure, low heat. but we're getting all the constituents that you would want to get the best purpose and use out of these oils, the therapeutic benefits of these oils. A lot of oils, because they're over processed, over distilled, over chemicaled, it can say pure, and it might be pure, but it's full of stuff, or it doesn't have any constituents in it that actually help anything. They just smell. Pure labels. This is another thing. Essential oil labels. There's no regulatory agency or certification for essential oils in the United States. There's just not. And it's kind of a good thing, but kind of scary, because I don't know if you've noticed, everybody has essential oils nowadays. You can get them at the flea market. I'm pretty sure. I don't go, but you can probably get them at the flea market. But basically, that being said, essential oil labels are meaningless. They can put pure therapeutic. They can put 100% pure therapeutic grade. They can put 100% certified pure therapeutic grade on there. And it means nothing. It really means nothing. That's why it's so important to know where you get your oils, know where your plants are grown, know the company that you get them from, because the company is going to have standards. And the stuff at Walmart, pretty sure, doesn't have the standards that other companies do. Here's an example, because they can put whatever in those and still say 100% pure. That's kind of scary, because you thinking that you hear people like me that use them all the time, and you're buying that stuff at Walmart and you're thinking, I'm just going to use it like she uses it. I don't recommend that, because you don't know what's in that oil. You know, our oils don't say flammable on it anywhere. They don't say do not ingest. They don't say that. So, example, in France, which is the largest exporter of lavender in the world. Do you know they export 60% more lavender than they grow? More lavender oil than they grow? That's pretty scary. So what are they putting in that oil that makes it 60% more oil exported than they grow the plants? They put perfumes and scents and alcohols and additives to make it spread. They add oils to it. They add all kind of stuff. It's kind of scary. I have already gone over the low temp, little or no pressure and no solvent. It keeps the constituents in the oil, so they actually have purpose and benefit to our body other than smell. The reason I use our oils, again, is smell is a side effect. It actually smells good, but it actually has purpose. We distill, you can distill, every plant is different, and you can distill from 1 hour to 16 to 22 hours. And there's the most potent part of the distillation is the first few hours of the distillation process, and the most fragrant is the last part of the distillation process. And a lot of our oils don't have the sweet smell that a lot of the cheaper, less expensive other brands do, because we distill it for constituents, not fragrance. That is huge, because if you've done it for so long, yeah, you're going to get that sweetness out of the plant, but you're not going to get the benefit. Again, you're just going for smell, and smell doesn't help me. It just doesn't help me. And each plant is completely different. A first distillation oil, which is what our company does, is the first distillation. It's a much stronger, more potent oil, and one drop can affect 400,000 molecules on every single cell in your body in 20 minutes. Put a drop here, or they've actually done tests. You can put a drop of peppermint on your toe, and in 20 minutes you can taste it in your mouth. That's crazy. I've had it done. It blew my mind. There's also a complete distillation, which is, again, that long, spread out. It's it's very mild, less potent. A lot of people like that, prefer it. I personally need the strength, and I'd rather dilute it as necessary. And because you can take the first distillation and use a drop. No, sir.
I just want to be in the video.
Got my schoolboy here. You can use a drop in a roller, or you can have 10 drops in a roller, whereas I use them straight out of the bottle because my body needs the more potent strength. Everybody's different, but again, I would rather have the choice of using the first distillation and having the stronger oils that I can dilute and spread out, over having something that's completely distilled and where I would need 5 drops to do it, 1 drop of the full the first distillation will do. I did want to read 20 questions, I think, and I need my glasses for this, but 20 questions that to know what kind of oils you're getting, because again, I hear people all the time say, well, I tried oils, they didn't work. What oils did you try? And here's 20 questions to ask to know, and you can call your company. If they're legit company, they'll have the number on the bottle and you can be able to call them. Number one, do they provide complete distill or first distill oils? Do they distill their oils using solvents? If so, for which oils? Do they bottle their own oil? Do they own their own farms? If they do not own their own farms, what controls do they have in place? Ask the following. Do they provide the seeds? Do they know what pesticides are being used? Do they know if the ground is organic? It must have been organic for a minimum of 50 years to be considered truly organic. Most companies will say it's organic if it's been 7 years. Our company, 50-year plus organic land, all our farms, period. It's part of our Seed to Seal promise. It's another reason I use our oils. Do they discard any mistakes, or are they resold to other companies? Can anyone visit the farms to see how they're made and to take a tour? Are the distillation drums cone-shaped or dome-shaped at the top? Cone-shaped is better, and most use dome. When they finalize their production of essential oil, do they test it for purity? Is testing done in-house only, or they also do third-party testing? Third-party testing that they don't own the company. That's another question you need to ask yourself. Can they provide you with a certificate of analysis? Do they have any people on staff that are trained aromatologists? Do they test their oils side by side with oils from other companies? Do they test when the peak harvest time is? Do they harvest at the peak time or all throughout the year? Do they ever have to recall their oils? Do they recommend to not ingest their oils? If they are not consumable, this is a giveaway that there's some contaminations in their oils. A little side note, if you Google GRAS, which means generally regarded as safe, you will find a list of oils that are safe to ingest. And if you are getting oils that say do not ingest on them and they're on that list, it's kind of scary. How many single non-blend essential oils do they carry? A good essential company who is truly invested in the company will carry upwards of 200 or more essential oils. We have over 350. We have a whole bunch, and we just added like 8 more this last weekend. So all that information being said, I had to get that information out there because, I've done these Truth Bomb Tuesdays, and I have yet to do one on something I'm so passionate about, because I don't want this to be about what I do in my life, but I just want to put the truth out there. And there's a book that that I got a lot of information from, The Essential Oil Truth. It's by Jen O'Sullivan. It is an unbiased book written with just the science, just the facts, just the truth. And you can get it on Amazon, and you can read for yourself about the amazing things about oils. That was just a tidbit. There's so much about oils. So hopefully if you are using them and you're not using the company that I chose to use, it'll help you think about, okay, well, maybe this is why I'm not getting the benefits, or, ooh, that's kind of scary, or just make you question, some things about essential oils, because I'm telling you, I've changed my life. Everything about my lifestyle has changed. I don't have anything in my house to do anything with. My medicine cabinets, my wellness cabinets are filled with oils. Got one over here telling you this. My kitchen is full of oils. Everywhere in my house I have oils, and my house smells good. I smell good. My life is better. I'm healthier. And I just wanted to share a little bit about essential oils tonight. So thank you for watching Truth Bomb Tuesday, and y'all have a great day. Be blessed.